High Plains Technology says it's time for school.
Good morning. It is time for school with High Plains Technology Center. And this morning we have Katie Shirley and Amber Riley. Good morning.
Good morning, Branson.
Good morning.
Yes, today I have with me our school counselor, Amber Riley, and we're going to talk about Senior Bootcamp that is coming up next Wednesday and Thursday. So, Amber, just tell us all about Senior Bootcamp.
Well, Senior Bootcamp, we started that about 15 years ago, if you can believe it. The counselor at Woodward High School, Mary Brenner, and I decided that our seniors, that were graduating were ready to hit the ground running, but there were a few things that they might need a little more information on before they enter the big wide world. Yeah. So we came up with Senior Bootcamp as a way to help share some knowledge that we thought they would be able to use upon entering the real world. And so we've carried that forward for it's been about 15 years. Changing things and to meet the needs of the current students. And, recently you helped out with that.
Yeah, so this year we sent out a monkey survey to all the seniors, asking their input for what they would like to hear on topics to be presented on. And so that was good to get that feedback. And so what have you gained from that?
Well, so, it was kind of interesting because we didn't have Senior Bootcamp for 2 years because of COVID. And so, sometimes when you do things, you get in the habit of doing them because you've always done them.
Right.
And so one question that I had for the area, our partner school counselors, was, is Senior Bootcamp still relevant? Is this something that you feel like still benefits your seniors? Right. And so the feedback from them was very positive. They still wanted to have Senior Bootcamp. And so then my next question was, what do the seniors feel like they need? What do they want to learn more about? And so thank you for doing the Survey Monkey. We did that with Woodward seniors just to give us an idea of some topics that they might be interested that I wouldn't have thought of. And so this year we will be doing money management. So Chris Cockerham with Edward Jones always does a fantastic job on investing, savings, how to manage your money effectively and efficiently. And then one thing that really received a lot of interest was buying a home. Mm-hmm. Buying a home versus renting a home. Right. Which is better? What are the pros and cons? And so Katie McKinney, who was in real estate in Woodward for a long time, even though she has changed careers, she agreed to do that. And another thing was understanding insurance. Insurance
I'm still learning to understand insurance.
No, I am too. It's so confusing. But kids need to know about that. Right. Do I need health insurance? Do I need life insurance? What's out there? How do the different prices affect the care that I can receive? Just a wide variety of things.
And who's presenting on the insurance?
Caleb Roach.
Okay,
He will do a fantastic job. Something that they always want, and this presenter gets fantastic feedback from the surveys after the students complete the camp, is basic self-defense.
Right.
How to defend yourself. Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you get into situations where that's a skill that you're going to need.
Yeah.
And Mike Wickware does a fantastic job with that. I appreciate him so much. Another thing that I thought was interesting that the seniors really wanted to know about was how to buy a car.
Yeah.
Think about it. How old were you when you bought your first car?
Yeah, 16, and my dad was right there. I mean, that was with his help. So on my own, it was years after that, and I didn't know. I still feel like, that I could learn from that.
Exactly. Buying a car by yourself, which is what a lot of people have to do, can be so overwhelming.
Right.
The first time I did it, I pretended like I knew what I was doing, but on the inside, I did not.
Don't get taken advantage of. And
right. And what's a good deal and how, sometimes car salesmen get the bad rap of being, manipulative or shady or whatever. And I feel like in my experience in the past, that's not the case. But when you don't know what you're doing, you might feel like that you're being ripped off when really you're not.
Yeah.
So Rodney Ogden will be the presenter for that.
Will do great
and
at that.
He and his dad, sold
Yes.
cars forever and ever.
Yes.
So he is our automotive instructor, and so they get the full package there
Yeah.
because he certainly knows what he's doing. And another thing they wanted was basic auto maintenance.
Yes.
You would
Another
be
good one.
surprised at how many people do not know
Yeah.
how to check their oil,
Yep.
how to check, tire pressure.
Mm-hmm.
What is my tire pressure supposed to be with this specific tire? Just things like that. So Jamie Spillman is our diesel mechanic instructor, and he
Go
will
over that.
go over that. So how this works is, so Wednesday, April 13th, will be all of our partner schools except Woodward. So it will be Moreland, Visay, Sharon Mutual, Fargo Gage, Fort Supply, Buffalo. So those students will come directly to the seminar center, and they will be paired up with a tour guide, which will be a High Plains employee. And the tour guide will take them around the building to each of these specific presenters, and they will spend about 30 minutes,
Well, that's a good amount
which
of time
each
to
one of them. Yes.
learn.
So on Wednesday, we will have about 100 students there.
100 from our
But they're
partner.
divided up into groups of, 15 to 20.
Yeah.
So some a little smaller, some a little bigger. But and then Thursday will be Woodward High School, Woodward seniors, and so we have 146 Woodward seniors. So on that day, on Thursday, we have another presenter on that day because we had more groups. We needed to add another presenter. So we will have Tara Hannaford, who is the financial aid officer at Northwestern. That was another area that the Woodward students said they thought they needed more information on, was applying for federal financial aid for college. Now, I know the Woodward counselors had set up a financial aid day for their students earlier in the year, and so this will just be a follow-up with that.
They might be paying a little more attention. at
Maybe
this time
since
of
it's
year.
closer, they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I
It's
better know
actually
this."
happening. Yeah.
It's happening.
Yes.
So definitely a shout out to Tara for her willingness to come to High
Yes.
Plains to do that. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, the day will start at 8 a.m. and end at 11:30, and those presenters get to present their topic 7 times. So I know
Yes.
they'll be really excited.
Really, really appreciate them because I don't understand how they can do that and repeat themselves all day.
Well, right. And, and the students have good questions and, they get a lot of positive feedback. One thing that I always hear from the students is they wish they could spend more time with the
Right.
presenters.
Yeah.
And I wish they could too.
Yeah.
But this also gives the area students a frame of reference for the specific area that they're in, but also a contact. So,
Yes.
I might be a kid that's going to buy a car and think, well, maybe I ought to call that Ogden guy
Yeah.
and get some help here. So, this does give the students a person that they can
Yeah.
actually call if they
And
have
they're
questions.
All great people. So we
They
really
are
appreciate
great.
them.
Yeah. So excited about senior boot camp and looking forward to that next week, and definitely appreciate the willingness of the presenters to come out to High Plains and
time
give
out
their
there.
time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, a lot of things going on at High Plains.
Right.
Next week, on the 11th, we will have the TAP Club. Mrs. Goss will be doing her always amazing job with the TAP students. And I think they are going to have a wildlife topic, and we will be at Crystal Beach. I think we get to do some fishing.
That's awesome.
I know.
I've
Are
heard
you
there's
coming
some
to
good
help?
Fishing there? Yes, I
You've
think I'll be
signed
there
up
that
to be
day.
a helper?
Yes.
Who doesn't
Bring
want to
my
go
pole.
fishing?
Right.
So,
In this beautiful spring weather.
and I think some kids maybe have never had the experience of fishing.
Right.
And so learn about the regulations. As an adult, you have to have a fishing license.
Yes.
There are some guidelines that you have to adhere to. And
Right.
so, I'm really looking forward to that. So, busy week.
Yes. And then also we'll go ahead and plug again the Service Careers Plant Cell. Everyone to save that date. It is the 20th and 21st? Or is
I
it the
believe
20th?
so. Thursday and
Thursday
Friday.
and Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at High Plains Technology Center. and that's 3921 34th Street. And it will be, you'll go through the gates and pull around to the back of the building.
Well, I think it's going to be over by Diesel in the actual greenhouse.
Oh, okay.
So you'll park out. So that would be what, the south side of the building?
Yes.
Right. So
Okay.
park out there and we'll get you taken care of.
All righty. Well, thank you, Amber, for being my guest. And thank you all for listening. We'll be back here next week on 100.1.